Today on the program, Lagos State inaugurates Phase 1 of Blue Rail Line, and later on the show, Governor Abdulrazak says return of PDP will stop Kwara's progress as Saraki prays for Nigeria's healing. I will be hanging out with Babajide Kolade Otitoju and Mojid Jamiu. Journalist Hangout starts now. The dream of making Lagos a smart and mega city is on course. Now, the state governor, Babajide Sanwo-Olu, has inaugurated the first phase of the Blue Line Rail in the state. And now the inauguration of the completed civil infrastructure of the Blue Line of the Lagos Rail Mass Transit, Governor Sanwo-Olu said the first phase from Marina to Mile 2 is capable of conveying 200,000 passengers daily. Let's hear from the governor.
Memorable and very it's actually something that will stay with me for a long time. It's very memorable, and it's just something that one cannot finally or fully express.
Now joining us live via Zoom for more insights is the Managing Director of Lagos Metropolitan Area Transport Authority, Abimbola Akinyajo. Thank you so much for joining us on the program, and congratulations on this milestone achievement. So first off, quickly tell us how historic this is for the state government, Lagos state government. It seems to having a bit of challenge, but let's quickly go on with the discussion here in the studio with my guests, Babajide Kolade Otitoju and Mojid Jamiu. So let's begin with you, Babajide, on this feat by the Lagos state government. What do you make of this?
It's a massive game changer. We always say that Lagos is the place where it happens in our country. Lagos is the real pace setter of modern Nigeria. Some of the things that Lagos began to do, Lagos was the first to have the billionaire budget. That was in the 80s when Lateef Kayode-Jakande was governor. Lagos was the first state to have a billionaire budget. That's a budget rising up to 1 billion naira in the history of our country. And it's been going on like that. The progress of Lagos has been steady. Lagos has been setting the pace for other states to follow. There's no denying the fact that some of the things that Lagos began to do, even in 1999, are today being copied by other states. I was reading the other day that the governor of Kaduna State had put plans in motion to start the light rail as well as the bus rapid transit program. Remember that BRT started here in Lagos, initiated by Asiwaju Bola Ahmed Tinubu. The vehicles had even been imported, but the program took off under Raji Fashola because there has always been continuity of good progress. Now, we talk about Kano State. Kano State has started their own bus rapid transport system, BRT. Again, it was Lagos that started it. Kano is doing it. Lagos began what you call LASMA, a transport management agency, which will be like an alternative to the FRSC and the rest of them. Today in Kano, there is what we call Karota. They have their own. Again, taking their cue from Lagos. If you go to Ogun, they have their own version of LASMA. Everyone has seen that, look, this is steady progress. Lagos began what we now call local council development areas. Ashwaji Bola Ahmed Tinubu started it. Today, some states in our country have also followed suit. So Lagos is the place where great things happen. Great things begin to happen in Lagos, and others simply say, let's do it. Imagine Lagos doing the quantum of deals that countries do. Because when Lagos decide to go to the US to bring in this
the coaches.
Yes, the coaches. That's the sort of deal that you expect a country, the sort of deal that you expect to happen between country and country. Lagos is a country on its own. That's why the economy of Lagos is one of the largest in Africa and consistently growing. So I'm so happy that there is already what inexorably amounts to a template for consistent growth and development in Lagos.
Right.
Nobody can fault that. Every hour, about 18 million people. 18 million people. I mean, I said every hour. At least 1,800 people coming into Lagos every minute. And do they go back, Majid? How many of them go back?
They are staying here.
Once they get here, they've lost their way home.
Looking for their own greener pasture.
They've lost their way home. So Lagos is where it happens. People can badmouth Lagos, and the people who have ruled Lagos, they can badmouth Lagos the way they like. But we can see real progress. The day somebody opened his mouth the other day to try to talk down Lagos, just a few things that came out of the mouth of the Lagos State Commissioner for Information put that person's mouth in a permanent position of shut up. Apologies to Zebudaya. That's what happened, because, look, where is even the capital of entertainment in our country? Right. It is Lagos. We can spend a whole program talking about the place of pride that God has placed Lagos in our country. We can talk about, is it culture, is it entertainment? This is the capital of it. People like P-Square, they were in Abuja before. When they saw that Abuja was not the best place for them, they came to Lagos. I was the first to put them in a newspaper, so I can tell their story. They came to Lagos. And where did they stay? Omole here. Before, when things became even rosier for them, they then went to
Lucky.
Well, let me quickly get
somewhere
your
on the
thoughts
island.
this, Majid. Let's hear your thoughts on this.
Yeah, I think I want to congratulate the people of Lagos, and especially the governor, Babajide Sanwo-Olu. Recall that while giving his speech today, he said specifically is giving recognition to the former governor of Lagos, Asiwaju, and by extension, the works and what is now Babatunde Raji Fashola, because Fashola laid the foundation of this blue line in 2010 with Sanwo-Olu as MD of, no, I think he was in the cabinet then. Now, what's the significance of this? The significance is that between 2015 and 2019, we had a governor in Lagos who stopped this project, who didn't touch it.
Yes.
But I think to the glory of God, that's why we need to be careful the way we do things. Some of the projects between 2015 and 2019 that were not completed, like the Pensinema Bridge, is now completed. Fantastic. This project probably would have been complete, probably would have been on the third line now.
Right.
Not talking of just completing the first line.
Let's not forget this is just taking effect after 4 decades.
After 4 decades.
Right.
So, like Jide said earlier, this is those coaches that Jide talked about in US when the governor went there, the ones for the red line, they were actually, I mean, snatched from Egypt. Egypt had interest in those coaches. So Lagos, as a subnational, took it away from Egypt and brought it here, and now we are enjoying it here today. Lagos is the only subnational in the world, as in like a state, that has capacity to deliver on this kind of project. So, and the governor mentioned something which I'm going to repeat here. The area boys and the urchins, they should please, for the sake of their life, not go near those rail lines because they are electric. It's an electric EMU. It's an electric motor unit, 24/7. So don't try to think you can even go and steal anything. They are so they should not think that this one is the Abuja Kaduna rail track that you can go and be stealing. If you go near, you will freeze. In fact, nobody will recognize you. Yeah, so it will
end up as black as charcoal.
Honestly. So please, and I think we need to make this point known. Don't even go there and think you want to go and vandalize anything, because it is the kind of power that those rail lines are carrying is unimaginable. So it's a beauty. And those coaches, for those of us who entered today, fully air conditioned. So you might need to wear some jackets if you are
warm clothing.
Some warm clothing if you are going to those. So I felt happy as a Lagosian. I mean, boarding those planes, and for those who are watching, yes, I mean, fantastic. And for this one, it will be taking about 200,000 passengers on a daily basis. I mean, and 5 stops from Marina to
from Mile 2 to Marina.
Yeah, from Mile 2 to Marina. And the 5 stops now, one is at Orile-Igomu, then National Theatre, then Mile 2. And yes, those 5 stops. That's the first batch, which is on a stretch of a total of 27 kilometers. And the second one is the red line, which we run on automotive gas oil. And I think they are going to do this kind of ceremony for that one in the first quarter too. And that one will run from Agbado up to Ebutemeta, 37 kilometers. But that one will run on diesel.
So let's quickly take. Yeah, it's a good one indeed. Well, let's quickly take our guests. We understand we have the Director of Lagos, Managing Director of Lagos Metropolitan Area Transport Authority, Abimbola Akinyajo. Good to have you on the program, Madam. So, yes, it is a remarkable feat, we would say, on the part of Lagos State Government, but briefly walk us through some of the challenges that your ministry had to encounter before we finally see this first phase of completion.
So, good evening, everybody, and thank you very much for having me. As with any construction project, there will always be something in the way. Construction by its very nature, there will be unforeseen circumstances. The big challenge was the sea crossing. The sea crossing meant that we had to put our piers and our piles inside the bed of the lagoon. And if you can imagine, there was gas link piping for gas all along that we needed to come away from. The sea wreckage that had been at the seabed for years, we needed to ensure that we remove them to allow us to be able to implement. And then there's the fact that in implementing, we had to ensure that we allowed navigation for the ships and the boats that would come. And whilst construction, the temporary works that we had put up constantly being hit by the ships that were crossing, or the vessels that were crossing, and that in itself was a danger to the works that was being done. But like we said today, we're here because of the doggedness of Lagos State, because we determined that we were going to get this done, and it has been a long way coming. We can talk about challenges from now till kingdom come. It will always exist in implementing a project of this size. The bottom line is, how determined are you to deliver the infrastructure? And I think today demonstrates the determination of the state, in particular, Mr. Governor, to ensure that the good people of Lagos begin to enjoy good public transportation. So yeah.
Now, why is this such a game changer in today's Nigeria? Why is this particular project viewed as a real game changer?
Okay, so when we look at Lagos, we always say the narrative is there, the statistics are there. We're a city of 25, it's, choose your number, anything from 22 to 26 million people. We're a very tiny state. And Lagos is the heartbeat of Nigeria when it comes to economic activity. Everybody's moving. Every day, Lagos moves 22 million trips are carried out in Lagos on a daily basis. So it's no surprise that we see that our roads are congested. But the way to move people en masse is to move them by train. The railway system is the way to move it by train. And understand the fact that we will be the first intra-city, we're not talking about intercity, intra-city rail system in Nigeria proper. So that means that we will begin to experience fast mass transit system. And beyond that, we're talking about intermodal integration. So we have the BRT buses, we have the standard route buses, we have the first and last mile buses, we have the ferry system. But the real game changer is when we have the rail system. So one trip, in those 4 coaches alone, we can move at least 1,000 people. So those who went on the journey with us today would see that we got to Marina from National Theatre in 5 minutes, and we can do that under when we get to full ramp up. So when you begin to, as a Lagosian, be able to do that journey or do the journeys in such short terms, but beyond that, be able to plan your journey, be able to utilize various forms of public transport to get from one place to the other, then you will be incentivized not to take your car. And hopefully that means that we will then begin to see journey times reduce dramatically. Imagine the human resource that is wasted whilst we're all sitting in our cars in traffic. So when we see that reduce, we will see major productivity. We will see increase in job opportunities for our people because the rail systems will employ thousands of people. So it's definitely a game changer, like you say, and it will be. And the vision for the state has always been that the 6 rail systems that have been earmarked within the Transport Master Plan should be implemented. And all of those provide connectivity, not just for the rail, it provides connectivity for the buses, it provides connectivity with the waterways. So all of our means of transportation, public means of transportation, when they are all connected, and I can come out of my house comfortably knowing that I can just go to a bus stop or ferry station and I can end my journey, albeit using various modes, will make me comfortable to not want to take my car.
Yeah,
so
thank you, madam. While boarding the trains today, we are giving the cowrie cards
yes,
as an access. So, and the governor also said those are the, that's what will be loading, just like your Oyster card if you go to London. So how are we going to be getting those cowrie cards? And are they also usable on the BRT buses? Because I think the cowrie cards also allows passage into the BRT buses.
Okay, so thank you for that question. Today, we have over 2 million people who utilize those cowrie cards. And that same cowrie card that we use now, we use them today on our regulated buses as well as the ferries. That same cowrie card, whoever has it, can just top it up and use it on the train. And if you don't have it, you can buy it from any of the agents that are dotted around at the stations. If you get to the train stations, you can go to any of the bus terminals, wherever you can get the cowrie card, and you can top it up in so many ways. So that cowrie card is what you will become the transportation ticket for all of the various modes of transportation in Lagos.
Okay, before we let you go, let's quickly talk about this, this project, this integrated transportation system that the Lagos State government is adopting. How sustainable is it? Even though it might be a very good one, Is it sustainable? Because I understand the rail tracks will be powered with electricity for 24/7, and of course to reduce likely possibility of street urchins trying to grab hold of one of those things to perhaps sell or make quick cash. Well, how sustainable is this project?
Okay, in terms of sustainability, it's about how ready are we as a state to ensure its sustainability, and I would say that we are. So as the form of transportation that it is and the form of fuel that we're using, which is electricity, we have to take electricity from the grid. But beyond that, we have an IPP that has been implemented purely for the Blue Line. And we have also a UPS system, it's called the drop system, that ensures that when there is power failure, you, the passenger, will never feel the difference, because between the time that the power fails and the IPP comes up, the UPS kicks in, so that as a passenger, you will never know that there has been a transition from the grid to IPP. So from that perspective, Lagos has invested a lot into ensuring the sustainability of this project. And I think from that perspective, it's about being prepared. And I think the state is definitely prepared.
Let's talk about the speed of these trains. How is it really different to the ones that we're already familiar with?
That powered by locomotives.
Yes. What really is the noticeable difference between this and those ones in terms of the speed?
So this is an intra-city train. So the ones we're used to, so like the Lagos-Ibadan rail line is going from Lagos to Ibadan. Those are intercity trains. So for us, our train lines, they're designed, the speed that these trains can go is 80 kilometers per hour. That's the top speed that we have. And obviously, that is what we will ramp up to when we get to complete and full operation. We didn't do anything near that today.
So if I was moving from Agbado to Marina, for example, how many minutes will that journey take me?
From Agbado to Marina will not take you anything more than 30 minutes. 30, 35 minutes max.
All right, talk to us about the process of boarding the rail line and how accessible, even though we understand they're going to use carry cards for, accessibility into this rail line. Talk to us about how affordable this is for every Lagosian.
And also the frequency of movement. In other climes, we know that the next train will be coming in probably 5-10 minutes. So what is the frequency of a movement of this train? Because like the Lagos-Abeokuta, for example, again, I think it's about maybe 12 hours. So like this one, since it's intra-city, can you tell us about the frequency of movement? How long do we have to wait as passengers for the next train to come?
Okay. So like, first of all, let's start from what it was designed for. In railway speak, you will say the headway is 3 minutes. So the design that we have now, it means that I can lock and also passenger demand. So we have designed into the future, and we have taken cognizance of the growth of this form of transportation in Lagos. And that means that we will be able to run a train every 3 minutes. Now, from the studies that we have carried out, between trains. And like I said, it's also dependent on the number of trains. Bearing in mind, we're starting with 3 sets of rolling stock. So that means that very easily we would do between 15 minutes and 20 minutes, preferably 15 minutes in the peak time.
Right.
So that says that I can run at least 3 trains in an hour. And those 3 trains will carry nothing less than 1,000 people each in one direction.
Yeah, but you haven't addressed the issue I asked initially about the affordability. How affordable is it for any Lagosian to, use this train?
So what we are doing now in terms of affordability is that there is a study going on as I'm speaking now, and that study is about willingness to pay and affordability, because as an organization you cannot just put something out there, and so it's about what is it that the people are willing to pay and how much they're willing to pay. So there is that position that we are in the process of speaking to the people and carrying out surveys, and the pricing will be made very, very public very soon, because we need to. This is not something we want to do and say, oh, this is how much we're going to charge. We will do it as it's done normally, which is that understand the willingness to pay of the people and also understand the affordability from the conditions within which that you must assess, and that's where we are now. One thing we know is that the only way to get it right is to engage the people, and that's what we're doing.
All right, we'll hold you online.
And we're doing it as close to the time of operations as possible.
We need to go on a very quick break right now. We'll hold you online. We'll come back with more discussions on this. Do stay with us. You're still on to Journalists Hangout. We'll have more discussions in just a moment. Stay with us.
My brother, my sister, una dey there? Listen, make I clear una well. To win election, no be only say your vote na im plenty pass o. Before person fit win election for we country, the person must win 25% of vote for 2/3 of state, plus the FCT for Nigeria. That one na for president. And governor must win the same thing for all local government area for the state. Na so our constitution put am o, and na so all our presido take become presido. All our governors na the same way them take win. So therefore, my people, our country big no be small o, and we get different language, different religion, ethnic group nko. That one self dey nyafu. Now why nobody fit think say if you don't get north vote, abi south vote, abi east or west vote, you don't do. Na lie yo, except you collect vote from all over the country, you just dey bobo yourself. Make una tell everybody, make everybody for know now, make you no for cause fight tomorrow. Na Center for Democracy and Development, CDD, with support from the Foreign, Commonwealth and Development Office, FCDO, bring on this message.
Nigeria na we country, APC na the party, na one man be a choice. Nigeria na we country, APC na the party, na one man be a choice. Who be the president we need? Who be the president we go for?
People of Nigeria don't talk oh. Them say na Asiwaju Bola Tinubu them want as president of Nigeria.
Our country people get many reasons we make them all agree say na Asiwaju Bola Tinubu them choose for this president election.
Yes so Bola Tinubu na man wey sabi. Anything wey him put in hand, he dey work wella.
He do better work for Lagos State when he be governor. Till today, Lagos people still they enjoy from all the better things wey Jaburata for Lagos. People of Nigeria, he good to make we vote for who sabi.
As it come be so, make we all come out for election day and vote Bola Ahmed Tinubu as president of Nigeria.
Vote Senator Kashim Shettima as vice president. Vote APC, the party with broom.
Who be the president we go for? Bola Tinubu.
This place will have a recreational park that is designed to make life comfortable. Wellness is key, and we are putting this place that will help people to, keep up on their health where they go burn their fat. And the timeline for this project is estimated to start and end within 18 months. But however, it starts in phases. The first phase is to get this place secured and gated, which is done.
Mowe is a growing city, and if you are very, very smart, then you realize that the Lagos-Ibadan expressway that is being developed is going to throw Mowe open furthermore.
People that have gone ahead of us have great investment here. And even way in the 90s, even before we thought about coming here. So I think it's a good idea, Iderade coming here.
Mr. President understands very clearly that this economy wouldn't have been growing, consecutively, we wouldn't have been able to pull ourselves out of recession twice, and we wouldn't have been able to grow consistently without enabling the states to grow. It's because it is a federation and it is one whole nation. There is no president that has provided the level of support that Mr. President has provided to the states of the federation. He understands that the federating units need to work together as one to achieve the targets that he has set. With the support of His Excellency the President, being able to disburse 5.03 trillion naira and an additional $3.4 billion to states by the federal government over the lifetime of this administration.
This message is brought to you from the Federal Ministry of Information and Culture.
The chairman, Zamfara State APC Gubernatorial Campaign Council for the re-election of His Excellency Governor Bello Muhammad MON, Mutawallan Maradin Shatiman Dollar Usmaniya, His Excellency Honorable Abdulaziz Yara Abubakar Shatiman Zamfara, and former Governor Zamfara State cordially invite all APC members, stakeholders, and supporters in Zamfara State to the flag off of Zamfara State Gubernatorial Campaign, scheduled as follows. Date, Tuesday, 27 December 2022. Venue, Kauran Namoda Township Stadium, along Shinkafi Road, Kauran Namoda, Zamfara State. Time, 10 a.m. prompt. Announcer, Honorable Ibrahim Megandi, Malikin Gidan Goga, Director, Publicity Directorate for the Campaign Council.
Welcome back. We're still on to Journalist Hangout, and we're still discussing the new completion of the blue rail line that is being completed in Lagos. Let's quickly have your thoughts on this, BKO, before we finally move on to our next issue of discussion. What do you make of this entire project, even though the state government seems to be well ready to, accept citizens to board this train?
Yes, it's a game changer, as I said earlier, and everything that I've heard from the Lamata MD, I've even gladdened my heart. I've restored my confidence, in the whole project. If a train can do 80 kilometers per hour intra-city, no hold up, nobody competes with it on its tracks. It's not as if a downfall driver will park directly on the road and when you complain they will start abusing you. No. So if you can do your 80 kilometers, there's no way that the journey won't be short.
Yes.
I mean, in terms of the time that you spend, the travel time will be short.
Absolutely.
And that's what we want. That's what we want to see. If you must move from that Agbado, for example, the bad roads, some of the worst roads in this area are in the Agbado
axis.
Yes. We went there for a wedding recently. Our boy here, Pablo. You can imagine doing a distance of just about 15 kilometers. You are spending about 3 hours.
Because of the poor road.
Extremely poor. Gullies. That boundary between Lagos and Ogun State, the most nightmarish roads,
you can never
starting from Abule Ekun,
right
up to Agbado, the most, he used to live in that area.
Even the names of those people,
Fortune smiled on him.
Matogun.
Yes, scary you too.
See, before Fortune smiled on him, he used to live in that area. Eventually, he sold his house.
We are together there now.
I also sold mine. I didn't even wait to complete my...
Some communities there.
Terrible roads.
Yeah. So now this is more like going to assuage residents living in that area.
A lot of people living in that area, they work in Lagos. So this is good news for them.
Absolutely.
That, okay, start from Agbado here, and then that you can, at least you can move freely like that. No
hassles.
No, look at it now. Isn't this beautiful?
Majid.
Yeah, to further break it down, this particular one we are looking at, that's the 13 kilometers from Marina to Mile 2. and it will be stopping at, if you take off from Mile 2, the first stop will be at Suru Alaba. After Suru Alaba, it's Orile Gomu. After Orile Gomu, National Theatre, then Marina for that blue line. And when the red line starts, the red line is the 37 kilometers that would start from Agbado and terminate at Ebutemeta. But I think the first phase, just like the first phase of this one, will terminate us at Oyibo. And from what the GM Lamata said, that 37 kilometers will take you a maximum of 30, 35 minutes from Agbado to Butemeta. And the trip we had today from National Theatre to Marina, 5 minutes.
Wow.
And it's not yet at the 80 kilometers.
Right.
I guess we are doing between 40, 50 today because it's on test run, 4 coaches. And each of those coaches, I mean, took about, both sitting and standing, about 70 to 80 people. So those 4 coaches, between 8, that's 8 times 3, about 320 in those 4 fully air conditioned. So, and for the blue line, I'm aware that there are 10 on ground. So that's why she said every 3 minutes. It can be doing every 3 minutes. So you won't have to wait, even if we say 10 minutes. Like from what she said now, from the survey, it might be about 15 minutes, but even 15 minutes is good. When you know that the next train will come in 15 minutes, you can plan your time. You know, wherever you're going, you'll be there, depending on which location you are. You can be there, you can actually plan, and no hold up or any downfall blocking the road or what have you. So I think it's a good thing. Kudos to the Sanwo-Olu-led administration and all the founding fathers of
Because he too could have
abandoned the project as well. Okay, let's quickly have a final thoughts from the managing director herself, Mrs. Abimbola. So before we let you go, finally give us your final parting words, even as Lagosians are anticipating to board this rail line. Now, we understand the president will be in Lagos in January to inaugurate this project. Talk to us about this before you finally leave this, this discussion.
Sorry, I must say I didn't hear the majority of your question. I'm sorry.
There was your message for Lagosians as they look forward to enjoying this
service.
This train service.
I think I'll reiterate what my governor said today, that as Lagosians, we need to begin to own our infrastructure. When the government puts money, it is your money, my money, our money, to implement infrastructure. We need to own it. We need to learn not to vandalize. We need to ensure that we look after our infrastructure so that our infrastructure will serve us for years. All I would say is that in ownership, we will all look after it, we will all take care of it, and it will serve us for years, and it will reduce traffic. All the fantastic things you have spoken about is what will happen when we allow this infrastructure to serve us as a people. Right. So for me, it's about ownership. It belongs to all of us, and all of us must begin to embrace it and look out for it and look after it.
Ownership it is.
And also to understand that from a perspective of what is possible, this is the beginning of amazing things to come in Lagos. Indeed, the more that we do, the easier it will become for us to do business in Lagos. When we get transportation right, Lagos will work.
Apologies there, I have to cut you in because of time. But thank you very much, Mrs. Abimbola Kiajo, for your insights and sharing the perspectives of what Lagosians should expect more from the state government. Thank you so much for your time with us, ma'am. Now to our next issue, the Otoge Revolution, which broke the stranglehold of the People's Democratic Party on Kwara State, cannot be forgotten in a hurry. In the face of new circle of elections, the state governor, Abdurrahman Abdurrazak, has asked people of the state to see the comeback bid of the PDP as another plot to draw back the state after it had been placed on the right path by the All Progressives Congress government. Speaking at an event in Ilorin, the governor said the PDP has nothing to offer the state after ruling for 20 years. Meanwhile, former Senate President Abubakar Bukola Saraki, has prayed for God's healing of Nigeria and making the country a safe place to work, live, and relax. Saraki made the prayers while appreciating family members, friends, associates, and supporters on his birthday celebrations. So, Majid, let me come with you first off. You know, we understand that the present governor was once of the PDP, which he contested both in 2011 and 2015, and he lost. And he won on the platform of the All Progressives Congress. But now he's saying this. One would begin to ask, what makes it any different from the rest? Even though it's more like trying to protect his territory, are we seeing him different from the PDP? I'm just asking.
No, there's an history behind the Saraki family and the family of the incumbent governor. You know, they were both in PDP, but then the Saraki dynasty under Chief Olushola Saraki then, I've forgotten the name now. They can remind the name they call Baba, the Saraki, the father.
Oloye.
Baba Oloye, yes, the Baba Oloye himself. I mean, his word was law then. I mean, it dictates, I mean, whatever, just like another, it's a better refined form of Adedibu in Oyo State politics. So, but with the Otoge, Ahmed was able to break that chains. I think people are just tired, and they sold that to the people of Kwara, and they bought it. So, but now Saraki, for his birthday, went to there's what we call Lesser Hajj, which for those of us who are Muslims, you can go on Lesser Hajj any time of the year. So it's on Lesser Hajj to mark his birthday, where he also took some people along to pray specifically for power to return back to PDP in Kwara and by extension in Nigeria. So, but the governor is now, I mean, reacting to that to say that no, it's like a dog going back to its vomit. So there's an history, like I said, behind the two families. So it goes beyond APC or PDP or even performance. So it's like Kwara is going to be a battleground, going to be like a show of strength, I mean, for the two families. The Sarakis want to bounce back to power in 2023. But a lot of this will also depend on the result of the presidential election, which would have a bandwagon effect in so many states, especially states in the Southwest and states that has like a 50-50 balance between the APC and the PDP. So the kind of impact we'll have in Kwara, in a state like Kwara, Osun, Ekiti, Ondo, and Oyo would be huge compared to states like Akwa Ibom or Cross River or the PDP states in the Southeast, where you almost predict that PDP would win in those states, whatever, regardless of what happens at the presidential election. Recall that the presidential election will come first on 25th. So all these calculations, all these things, they also have effects on the pattern of voting. By the time the presidential election comes and the results are known, there will be a bad bandwagon effect with some states. The only campaign mantra will be, do you want to be at opposition in federal?
All right, let me hold your thought there. We need to go on a very quick break. You're still on to Journalist Hangout. We have more discussions on this very issue after this. Stay with us.
Everyone has a Chivita this season. What's your Chivita?
The Presidential Fertilizer Initiative, this is to improve fertilizer in the country. In 2015, it was established, in 2016, through which a number of plants increased in the country from 8 to about 200. Now, as a result of the intervention, the annual fertilizer production rose from 300,000 metric tons per year to about 7 million metric tons. And then the National Fertilizer quality control also has been doing the job to make sure, again, the fertilizer is of good quality.
This message is brought to you from the Federal Ministry of Information and Culture.
Life is self-expression in your own space, in your own way. And when you've got your whole life ahead of you, your style simply becomes your attitude. And at the right time, you step out to bring more of you right into your space. Welcome to the world of Vento Furniture.
Season's greetings. Think home, think Vento Furniture.
The chairman, Zamfara State APC Gubernatorial Campaign Council for the re-election of His Excellency Governor Bello Muhammad MON, Matawallan Maradin Shetiman Dollar Usmaniya, His Excellency Honorable Abdulaziz Yara Abubakar Shetiman Zamfara, and former Governor Zamfara State cordially invite all APC members, stakeholders, and supporters in Zamfara State to the flag off of Zamfara State Gubernatorial Campaign, scheduled as follows. Date, Tuesday, 27 December 2022. Venue, Kauran Namoda Township Stadium, along Shinkafi Road, Kauran Namoda, Zamfara State. Time, 10 a.m. prompt. Announcer, Honorable Ibrahim Megandi, Malikin Gidan Goga. Director, Publicity Directorate for the Campaign Council.
How important is comfort to you? Is it as important as the day you discovered that self-love is the start of good life? Here is a comfort that your self-love, Iderade. Transit into your serenity. The opportunity awaits you on this peace of mind as you pay in installments of 24 months with initial deposit of 500,000 naira. Serenity at its finest.
Welcome back. You're still on to Journalists Hangout. So let's hear your final thoughts on this very issue, Majid, before we kind of move on to Babajide on his own perspective.
Yeah, so like I said, we still have the red line, which will be coming on stream in January. And like I said, it's a good thing that is happening to Lagosians.
No, we're talking about Kwara politics.
Oh.
I had to bring you back.
Sorry.
Apologies, I understand.
So yes, so as it's going to cause, the presidential election is going to have a serious effect on the result of the governorship election. The presidential election is coming first, while on February 25th, while the governorship election comes 2 weeks later. But also recall that Beni Saraki's, Bukola Saraki's younger sister is in the APC and even a serving minister. But I heard is also at loggerheads with the incumbent governor of the APC. The same way also, although you might say the Minister for Information and Strategy, Lai Mohammed, is not really as deep in Kwara politics. He's from Kwara, but he operates more in Lagos, where the son is a serving House of Assembly member. But all those will have effects. He is not also very good with the governor. But I believe, I heard that the people of Kwara loves the governor. But that we'll get to know.
Absolutely.
when
Let me quickly get your thoughts, Babajide, on this very issue before we wrap up this discussion.
Well, the election in Kwara will be very, very interesting. The governorship election is potentially going to be very close. The Ilorin Emirates, which is Kwara Central, has the highest number of votes. But the interesting thing is that there are 3 candidates from Ilorin, 3 major candidates. That's SDP, Hakeem Lawal, the son of the late governor of the state, you know, and NMPP, Professor Abdurrahim Oba. Professor Abdurrahim Oba was defeated by Hakeem Lawal in the SDP primaries. They contested twice, he defeated him twice. Oba then moved to NMPP. So he's a candidate, he's from Ilorin, just like Hakeem Lawal. Then APC, the governor is also from Ilorin. Now, what the PDP has done is to get their own candidate from Kwara North. Kwara North had been complaining that for so long they had been overlooked, they had not been allowed to become governor. Now, with Kwara North, and Kwara North too has tremendous votes. So the strategy that Bukola Saraki and others are trying to use is to see how the APC, NMPP, SDP, who have candidates from Ilorin Emirate, can smash one another, divide each other's votes, so that the candidate, the sole major candidate from the North, can then emerge. And he also knows that there's a lot of rancor, a lot of bad blood between the APC leaders in the state. There was a time we discussed on this program, and I advised the governor, I said, as the governor, you are the leader of all, you are the father of all. They are all your subjects. Pull them to your side so that you can go into the contest feeling comfortable. I'm not saying that the APC will not win.
Right.
But in a situation in which you have this kind of situation, it's going to be very close. Yeah. You know, thankfully, one of the most powerful politicians in Kwara politics today, Mustafa, is still on the side of the governor and is a candidate for Senate for Kwara Central. I don't know how my analysis would have looked like if Mustafa had decided to go to the other side. But the APC leaders still must find a way to resolve their differences, so that because in Kwara now what they are saying is Osuwa. It's no longer Otoge. Or they are saying Osuwa. You know, before Osuwa replaces Otoge, they have to use their heads, sit down, and see how they can find a solution to the crisis between them.
All right, and that's where we leave it this evening. Thank you so much, my guests in the studio, Babajide Kolade Otitoju and Mujid Jamiu. Thank you so much for sharing your thoughts on the show this evening. Well, that's about it on today's episode on the program. You can watch a repeat broadcast tonight at 11. Join us again on Sunday from 1:30 to 3:30 p.m. And we are also on YouTube at youtube.com/TVC News Nigeria. Many thanks for watching. I am Esther Makwariola. Bye for now, and God bless Nigeria.
When you think of a university, you think of a place where you will go to cut out your future. And when you get there, you realize there's a lot more to it. The beautiful structures, facilities, and ambience. A place where you meet great minds, experience different cultures, and master the art of fundamental problem solving. Be part of a whole different study experience with Kampala International University, KIU, exploring the heights.
We wish you a Merry Christmas.
My name is Femi Adebayo. This holiday season, StarTimes is taking us to a better level. You can step up your family entertainment with the StarTimes upgrade promo. You recharge 2 months on Nova Bouquet and get upgraded to Basic or Smart Bouquet. Recharge 2 months on Basic or Smart Bouquet, you get upgraded to Classic or Super Bouquet. And if you recharge 2 months on Classic or Super Bouquet, you get 10 days free on your subscription. This upgrade automatically qualifies you for a weekly draw to win 55 inches Smart TV, PA systems, home appliances, and more. These prizes are proudly sponsored by Longreach, Wayon, and Amaz. This promo is from the 15th November to 15th January 2023. Terms and conditions apply. On StarTimes, every day is the best day ever. Merry Christmas and Happy New Year. StarTimes. Entertain your family.
The following is a paid presentation by ShopX TV. Introducing the new Pressure King Pro from ShopX TV. The amazing 14-in-1 digital pressure cooker that saves you time and money. Want to cook proper meals but can hardly find the time? We all have busy schedules, but hurried lifestyles means meals on the run, maybe even whole weeks with too much processed or fast foods. The amazing ShopEx 14-in-1 digital pressure cooker cooks up to 90% faster than conventional appliances. And because it cooks so much faster, you're not just saving time, but saving money too. Cooking a whole chicken in the Pressure King Pro could use up to 6 times less electricity than the average oven, saving you time and cash. This delicious chicken pepper soup could take 1 hour in conventional cookware, but with the Pressure King Pro, you'll cook it in just 15 minutes. This mouth-watering jollof rice is cooked in just 10 minutes in the Pressure King Pro, so you really can make fresh traditional meals for your family with ease. This delicious mixed bean porridge was made with fresh ingredients in just 30 minutes. Now that is fast food. Pressure King Pro is the one-pot solution that cooks hundreds of different healthy meals and does the job of so many different appliances. It's a pressure cooker, slow cooker, rice cooker, and a steamer all rolled into one. And with its digital control, you don't even need to be a chef to make exciting meals. You can even saute with no need for pots and pans on your gas cooker. It's perfect for browning meat and vegetables. Just press the button and walk away for perfect meals.